to Culinary Adventures. I'm Larry Gerber, the Barbecue Man. We're in the South Loop today, on location at Buddy Guy's Legends. Man, the memorabilia, the pictures are all on the walls. Jimi Hendrix, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Muddy Waters, Eric Clapton. Man, you name it, it's here. But you know what? We're here for the food. Down home Southern favorites. Our special guest today is Executive Chef Jason Gerard. We are going to be cooking an oyster po' boy, jambalaya, and Chauncey's favorite, catfish. Man, I cannot wait to get started. Jason's in the kitchen doing some prep work. We're going to join him right after this break. Hang loose. We'll be right back. Hi, welcome back to Culinary Adventures. We're on location today in the South Loop at Buddy Guy's Legends. Our special guest is Executive Chef Jason Gerard. Man, good to see you again.
Nice to see you.
Absolutely. Hey, we met Jason at the Taste of Chicago, and we only got a small little tasting, and we wanted to come into his kitchen and basically show us his culinary skills and culinary arts with preparing our first dish is jambalaya, right? Cool. Well, what do we got to do, man?
Okay, we're going to start by cutting up the vegetables. What I've got here is some red onion, celery, and some yellow pepper, just to give it a little bit more color. I change up the colors. We're going to start just dice up the onion. I like to do everything with a real large dice. I like big chunks. When I was in culinary school, the chef used to always yell at me about uniformity and cutting things to a uniform size, and I never do. One thing I can say about my cooking is that it's consistently inconsistent as far as sizes and stuff like that. I just like big palatable chunks. I mean, as long as I can fit it in my mouth.
Right. Well, also, you know, it gives you that comfort food feeling and that, you know, kind of that peasant style.
Exactly.
Home cooking, exactly, man.
So what I'm doing is I'm just taking a cross cut of the onion here, give it two, a couple right down the bias here.
And then you cut it straight down.
Cut it straight down. You get nice sized chunks. I don't bother mincing it, or, you know, with the garlic, I'll mince it real small, just because a big bite of garlic might kind of overpower the flavor of the rest of the food.
Sure.
So I'm going to set these onions aside here, and then we're going to go for the celery. Again, I like to use big chunks, so I'm just going to cut it once down the center.
I'm telling you, man, the kitchen smells awesome from that sausage and chicken that you prepped earlier.
Yeah, now normally, like in the recipe, if I do it for somebody cooking at home, I would say they should probably saute the chicken and the sausage before they saute the vegetables, just to get them cooked. But like I said, what I did is I threw it on the grill. I think it adds a little bit of a unique flavor to it, a little smoky.
Yeah, it gives you a charred flavor.
Right,
absolutely.
Exactly. So now I'm going to take the yellow peppers. I'm just going to slice one of them here.
I like yellow pepper, man.
Oh, me too. I think it's got a great sweet flavor compared to a green bell pepper.
Green,
yeah,
sure.
Exactly. And I love red pepper too. But yeah, I definitely think yellow is the sweetest and definitely gives it a nice eye appeal too.
With the produce available on the market today, man, you know, if you got it and it's available,
right?
And you know, eye appeal is half the battle. I mean, why not use the stuff? You know?
And that's another thing, that if you don't have yellow pepper available or something, you can use green pepper. You can use red pepper. A lot of people, will say they'll see certain ingredients. Like if I'm cooking with red onion, and they'll say, oh, but I don't have any red onion at home. You just grab whatever's in your
use a white onion or a yellow.
If you want to use even a green onion.
Right, exactly.
Just use the white end of the green onion, and even the green onion. You can use it all. What I'm going to do is I'm going to use peanut oil, which I really like the flavor of peanut oil. It's a U.S. thing, a southern U.S. thing. Peanuts, you think southern cooking. A lot of people like to use olive oil or even margarine. Sometimes I'll blend a little bit of margarine in with the peanut oil. But I fry at the club here exclusively in peanut oil pretty much.
And it's a high heat oil too, right? High burning point.
Exactly. That's one of the things I like most about it. Don't do a lot of cooking with butter unless I'm doing seafood.
Okay.
I like peanut oil. I really like the flavor it gives to southern U.S. dishes.
Yeah, because olive oil may be just a little bit too heavy.
Right, and it's, you know, it's more of a Mediterranean flavor.
Sure.
And I just like, I'm partial to peanut oil, I guess.
Okay.
So we're gonna go with
whatever works,
oil.
man.
Get the oil good and hot before you throw your vegetables in. That's what I always like to do. It keeps it from sticking, keeps your food from contacting the bottom of the pan and cooking to the bottom of the pan before it gets stirred. So if it hits that hot oil, it's going to dance right off of that oil, and it's going to stop it from.
Is that because these are basically, you know, water and water to
exactly? It works with pretty much any ingredients. You get your pot hot first, then you get your oil hot, and then you throw in your food. In fact, I learned that from one of my chefs in culinary school who was owned a Chinese restaurant and taught me how to cook with high heat. And it's the best way to cook.
Oh yeah,
is with high heat. It locks in the flavor, and I love the sound.
And the smell too.
Yeah. Again, I like big chunks, but I like to be able to fit them in my mouth, so I'm gonna...
Now, if they can't find andouille for some reason, can they use chorizo or something like that, or is that different, totally different flavor?
Well, you could use chorizo. It's gonna give you a different flavor. This is a smoked pork product,
instead of
almost
like
a smoked ham, right? And it's going to definitely give you a little bit, it's going to give you the same spicy profile, probably very similar, but you won't get the smoked flavor.
Okay.
And I think that's really important when you're doing this dish. Like I said, if you can't find it locally here in Chicago, which, like I said, Dominic's carries it.
Would be rare if you couldn't find it.
Right, Dominic's carries it in all their meat departments.
Right.
If you can't find it, you can, you know, I have links on my website where you can actually find
Okay. Yeah, we'll give your URL
like
at the end of the show.
I think Paul Prudhomme actually sells it too on his.
Great.
So, all right, we're just going to cut this in nice bite-sized chunks here. And usually what I'll do at home, I was telling you earlier, is the sausage is very fatty. And I've grilled it here.
Right.
But at home you can actually, if you don't want to turn your grill on just to grill a couple sausages, you can actually cut it up first. It actually comes pre-cooked, so you don't have to worry about contamination for raw pork. But you can saute it, you can cut it up, then saute it in the pan before the vegetables, and you'll draw out all the fat.
Right.
You can actually even use that fat to saute your vegetables. Sure. Which is what I do a lot at home. So I'm going to just finish cutting this up. Keep your cutting board really clean, especially when you're dealing with stuff like raw chicken and raw pork together. You definitely want to make sure, especially if they're raw.
Just for
that you're
bacteria
washing your
reasons.
cutting boards, you're washing your knives, you're washing your hands. Just keep your cooking area clean or you could end up with salmonella.
And that's not a good thing.
No, definitely not. So I've got, both of these are cooked. So we're pretty safe here. We're gonna just cut this up in a nice...
How many minutes per side are you figuring if you grill those breasts?
If you grill the breast, maybe, I think I grilled these for about, well, I've got a really hot grill. I grilled them for about 2 minutes on each side.
Okay.
You know, you're gonna be cooking them again anyway. I would suggest cooking them all the way through, but if you don't want to cook them all the way through, you know, just mark them on the grill.
Sure.
Give them a nice flavor.
Give those cross hatches.
Right. So we're gonna add this.
Sausage looks great, man.
Yeah, it's an excellent sausage, and like I said, it's readily available locally. At this point, what I usually do is go ahead and add my seasonings.
Now, what are we using?
Well, today we're going to use, I've got a Cajun spice blend, which you can, again, find at pretty much any supermarket. I know a lot of the major spice companies make their own. Yeah. I make my own here at the restaurant, or actually I have it made at a spice shop up in the suburbs. Sure. And they do a great job. What we're going to do here is I'm going to add the tomato.
Oh, okay.
And what I've got here is the gumbo filet powder.
Okay.
Now this is used primarily in gumbos as a thickening and flavoring agent. It depends on where you go, because some places in New Orleans I went to, they said they don't put the gumbo filet in until it's at the table, and they use it to taste. They keep a jar of it or a cup of it on the table, and they'll sprinkle it on their own food.
Now that's from the sassafras tree, right?
Exactly. It's the ground leaves of the sassafras tree. A lot of places will mix in ground thyme and ground green tea. I'm going to cut a little bit of thyme off here and use canned diced tomatoes. I've got about 1 can, 1 28-ounce can here.
That saves time too, you know?
Yeah, definitely. And you know what? I think for stewing purposes, like we're going to do with this jambalaya, it's definitely fine.
I mean, if you have extra tomatoes in your garden that you need to get rid of and you got the time, you could dice them, right?
Fresh tomatoes, absolutely. Fresh tomatoes are, you know, obviously the best choice. But if you're, if you want, you can use canned diced tomatoes. It's not going to hurt anything. We're going to just add a little bit of Tabasco sauce here. You can use any kind of hot sauce you want. I just prefer Tabasco.
Sure.
Gives you really good heat and the flavor. Right. Then we've got some Worcestershire sauce. Don't use a whole lot. Maybe a couple tablespoons.
Okay.
Gives a real good flavor. In fact, I love this smell.
Oh man, Worcestershire.
And it'll darken up your sauce a little bit too.
Well, that's okay.
So it doesn't look just like a pure tomato sauce.
I'm telling you, man, this kitchen smells like heaven.
Okay. I'm going to adjust the seasoning a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit more Cajun spice.
Okay.
It smells like it needs it to me.
But basically, that's our finished product,
This
right?
is going to be our finished product. I would let this cook for at least an hour.
Okay.
And just to let all the ingredients, the flavors combine and kind of meld together.
Let it simmer?
Yeah, exactly. Let it simmer for about an hour. Covered or uncovered, I would suggest covered.
Okay.
Now, usually jambalaya is cooked with the rice in it. In fact, a lot of people have told me that I don't really make real jambalaya, that it's gumbo, because I don't cook the rice in the jambalaya.
Okay.
Jambalaya, the word itself, comes from African and French origins. The J-A-M meaning hambon, which is the French word for ham. Allah meaning with, and ya is the African word for rice. So it's actually all supposed to be cooked together. I kind of take a different interpretation of it. Serve it more like a gumbo because I think it's just a nicer presentation.
Sure.
I think it's easier to hold and easier to cook. And we're going to spoon the hot jambalaya sauce right around the rice here.
Oh man. I love how everything, melted down, all your vegetables and your sausage and your meats and stuff, man. It smells great.
Yeah, it makes a nice, you need to cook it long and slow just to get all those flavors to combine.
Sure.
We're gonna pull this off here.
Whoa.
And then I'm gonna garnish it up a little bit here. Start with a little bit of parsley. This is why I like the pasta bowls, because they've got a nice wide rim on them.
Oh yeah, so you can.
I'm not a lot for real high garnishes or real fancy presentations, but I like to.
That's color.
Anything tastes better when it looks better. So.
Absolutely.
And you've already got with the sausage and the garlic and all that, you've got a great smell. You add the presentation and
the fresh chopped parsley adds a little flavor. People think it
Exactly.
doesn't, but it still does.
Exactly. And then what I'll do is I'll serve it with some cornbread. I'll serve it just like this. And that's how the plate goes out.
Well, hey man, first segment, this type of food, it looks great. These guys' mouths are watering. I can't wait to dig in. We're gonna take a quick break, okay?
Great. Sounds good.
Hang loose, we'll be right back. Hi, welcome back to Culinary Adventures. Our special guest is Jason Gerard, Executive Chef at Buddy Guy's Legends here in the South Loop. Man, the jambalaya was awesome. I mean, we've been eating it between breaks. It's great, I'm telling you. And man, I cannot wait to get into these other delicacies, the oysters and the catfish. These are some of my favorite things to eat for sure.
All right. Well, let's.
What we gotta do, man? We got one that already shucked, but maybe we can walk through and see how to do it.
Okay. What I look for selecting oysters is an oyster with a deep bottom shell, because it'll keep the liquor in there, and that's what keeps your oyster nice and fresh and tasty. And you don't want a dried out oyster. If you get an oyster that's dried out, open it up, throw it away.
Okay.
So what we're going to do is you need a towel, clean towel. What you probably want to do is scrub all the dirt, because oysters are very dirty. You want to scrub all the dirt, pull all the loose shell fragments off of the oyster. You want to put it in between a towel on a clean towel on your table. Put your hand over it so you got a nice firm grip on it. You want to keep it balanced so that all the liquor is going to stay in that deepest part of the shell too.
Okay.
So what you're going to do is you're just going to see the hinge at the back of the shell. You're going to take an oyster knife, and I'm just going to push it steadily down on that hinge until the hinge rips apart. and then I'm just going to pry the oyster open.
Oh, okay.
So what you want to do is you want to get it nice and level there. Hopefully we're not going to break this shell, because once you start breaking the shell, it gets a little messy. You just kind of got to wedge it in there. There you go. Did you hear
Should I
that
like
snap?
stand back, man?
No. Did you hear the little snap as the hinge busted? So then you're going to keep your oyster level so you're not spilling your juice all over the place, hopefully. I'll give you a better view of that. And then we're just going to lift the top off, going around the sides, breaking the seal.
So you got to use some body language.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's cool.
So then you're going to pull the top off. You want to scrape the oyster off of the top shell. You can get rid of that top shell. And what we're going to be doing with this oyster is we're going to be frying it up for a sandwich. You see that juice in there? They call that the liquor.
Yeah.
At home, if I were making this, what I'd do is keep the oyster, bread it, and then I'd drink the liquor right out of the shell.
Oh, okay.
I'm not going to do that here, but you've got your oysters. I usually put about 6 or 8 on the sandwich, depending on how much you like oysters. You've got that great liquor in there. Shame to let it go to waste. So we're just going to shuck up the rest of these oysters.
Okay.
This one I've already got open. And yeah, it's definitely, you definitely want to clean your oysters off with a good stiff scrub brush.
Oh, yeah.
Before you start.
That liquor's good, man.
Oh yeah, it's great. I'm just going to pull that off. Okay, then we're just
I like
going to
them cooked and I like them raw, so it doesn't really
I like
much
them both
matter,
ways.
You know what I mean?
Purists say never cook them, but I definitely like them. Definitely like them cooked as well.
All right, well, we got the oysters shucked, Jason. Now what do we have to do? They're sitting in the breading.
Now we're going to bread them, and what I've got here is just a combination of it's half flour, half cornmeal, some Cajun spice blend that I use just to taste, as much as you want to put in there, and some salt. And that's really all you need.
Cool.
We're just going to bread them up, dust them off here with the flour, and then we're going to throw them in our hot oil.
Great.
Okay.
All right, man.
So they're ready to go in the oil. And we're just going to cook these, just basically flash cook them
No time, right?
until the breading is cooked and not burnt. And you don't really want your oysters, you know, cooked too long because they'll overcook.
They're a little rubbery, really rubbery.
And they'll even get kind of grainy and gritty.
Oh yeah, they brown up nice and good.
Yeah, here we're going to transfer them out of the pan to a towel on a plate here. And you don't really need to use an egg wash or anything or milk to hold the breading on. A lot of people like to do that with chicken and stuff, but with fish I've found, and with seafood, especially with oysters where they come in their own liquor, they're wet enough and it'll hold on nicely if you throw them right in there. The key is to use half flour and half cornmeal.
Okay.
Because the flour will definitely help the cornmeal adhere to the, to the seafood. So then we're going to transfer these onto our sandwich.
Okay.
And what I've got here is just a French roll, and I've just shredded some romaine lettuce, a couple slices of tomato, and we're just going to put these right on our sandwich. And I'll serve this with a Creole honey mustard sauce, which I can give you the recipe for that. It's just a whole grain mustard mixed with some mayonnaise and some spices, a little bit of honey.
Fantastic.
And it makes a great accompaniment for the oysters.
All right, man. So we got the catfish too that we're going to be doing. What do we got to do with that?
Okay, we're ready to roll on the catfish. The same exact breading we're going to use for the catfish and the oysters.
Okay.
We are going to take our catfish, which we've got is pretty wet because it comes packed in ice. If you want to rinse it off before you use it, just to make sure it's nice and moist, so that way it'll hold the breading better. And what we're going to do is just take it right into our breading here. Just coat it, turn it over. And I'm using a cast iron pan because it, especially if you're frying more than one thing, it'll help hold the heat of the oil better than like an aluminum pan or something like that. So if you have the biggest cast iron pot you've got at home, they work the best, I found, for pan frying.
Great.
I don't pan fry much here at the club. We do most of it in a deep fryer, but definitely at home. A cast iron pan would be best for pan frying. We're going to go right in there in the oil. Make sure I got some heat here.
Let the oil do its thing.
And you'll know your oil's ready if you don't have a deep fry thermometer at home. You'll know your oil's ready when you take a a little pinch of flour, drop it on the oil, and it starts to bubble.
Okay. And that's a lot safer.
If it starts to burn and turns black, right, it's
safe for doing it that instead of throwing water in.
Right, no, you definitely don't want to throw water into hot oil.
Okay.
When you throw the flour on, it starts to turn black right away, your oil's too hot, so you want to turn it down. It should just slowly turn a golden brown.
If they do have a thermometer, is like 350, 375 a good heat range?
I fry 350 degrees.
Okay.
480 or so Fahrenheit.
Okay.
Celsius.
Oh, it's great.
So that's about as quickly as it should be burning. We'll give it about, 4 or 5 minutes. I'm going to turn the heat up just a little bit because I think we're losing some. And we're going to go with another fillet here. We can get 2 in here.
Don't overcrowd the pan?
No, you don't want to overcrowd the pan because you'll lose your heat. And if you start losing the heat too quickly, your breading's going to start falling off in the pan because you're going to have to leave it in there longer. And it's going to kind of soak up a lot of grease too. You don't want it too greasy.
You mean the fish will get too greasy?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Generally, the rule of thumb is enough oil to just cover what you're cooking, just barely. You could even, a lot of people say 2/3 of the way up and then flip it during cooking. I like to cook it all in one shot, especially with fish where I want it to cook all the way through. This would be more of deep frying, I guess, than traditional pan frying. Yeah,
but still, I mean, this is a good way to illustrate it because if people, in their regular kitchen, they don't have a deep fryer.
Right, exactly. I love, like I said before, I like to cook in peanut oil, especially American foods.
Sure.
Or Southern American foods, because I think I like to use ingredients that are indigenous, I guess, to the area.
Absolutely.
And ingredients, and I think peanut oil is perfect for the kind of flavor I'm going for. So I use it, even in my deep fryers, I use peanut oil.
Yeah, I love that bubbling sound, that's for sure. And I can't wait to dig in because it's going to be nice and golden on the outside, moist and tender on the inside. That's exactly what we're looking for.
So do you want to serve this with the...
Yeah, we'll put a fillet there on the plate and give it our final presentation.
Okay, our catfish is ready to come out of the pan, so I'm going to remove the first fillet from the pan, shake off the oil, and I'm going to put it on a towel. You can use paper towels. Just let it drain a little bit until the oil looks
golden brown, and man,
that's exactly how it should look.
Just like perfect.
Just going to let the oil drain off a little bit, and then I'm going to plate it up.
And that's really a hearty size fillet too.
Yeah, these are 7 to 9 ounce fillets, so that's about a half pound. And here at the club, we'll serve 2 8-ounce fillets, basically, so you're getting a pound of catfish. And I've got a little bit of Cajun tartar sauce there. The recipe is really simple. It's a mayonnaise-based sauce, a little bit of pickle relish, some Cajun spice, lemon juice, horseradish, and it's a pretty simple sauce.
Fantastic, man. Everything looks great. These guys, as always, they're drooling over this stuff. So, you know what? We're going to take a quick break and we're going to hurry on back. Hang loose. Hi, welcome back to Culinary Adventures. Man, Jason, the food looks awesome. The oysters, the catfish, the jambalaya. Man, we were diving into this food during break, but we're going to dive into it some more, man.
Right.
Hey, do me a favor. Give me the address and the phone number here.
The club is located at 754 South Wabash in the South Loop, the corner of 8th and Wabash. The phone number is 312-427-1190.
And your website?
And our website address is www.buddyguys.com.
Cool. Well, man, thanks for taking time out of your busy day and getting us in your kitchen.
Great to have you.
Hey, no problem. Jason's recipes will be at our website at barbequeman.com. For sure, check that out. And man, again, thanks for having us.
Thanks for coming.
We're going to dive into these plates of Southern down-home delicacies for sure. I'm Larry Gerber, the Barbecue Man. Wishing you a great culinary adventures. We'll see you next time. Take it easy.